The day the ground disappeared beneath an entire reindeer herd. Imagine walking with your family across what feels like solid ground. The snow crunches beneath your feet, the wind is calm, everything seems normal. But without making a sound, the land beneath you breaks away, not into a hole, not into a crack, but into a giant floating island of ice that slowly drifts out into the Arctic Ocean. This isn't the plot of a movie. It has actually happened to wild reindeer, and when it does, survival depends on luck, weather, and the unforgiving forces of nature. Life in the Arctic. The Arctic is one of the harshest environments on Earth. Temperatures can drop far below freezing, snow covers the landscape for much of the year, food is scarce. Yet reindeer have evolved perfectly for this frozen world. Their thick fur traps warm air. Their wide hooves work like snowshoes, helping them walk across deep snow and slippery ice. Every year, many herds travel long distances searching for food. To them, frozen rivers, lakes, and coastal sea ice often become natural highways. What appears to humans as dangerous terrain is simply another part of their migration route. But nature doesn't always stay frozen. Sea ice may look solid. Some sections can be several feet thick. Others are much thinner than they appear. As temperatures change, ocean currents shift, or strong winds begin to blow, large cracks can suddenly form. Sometimes these cracks spread for miles, and occasionally an entire sheet of ice separates from the coastline. There is no loud explosion, no warning siren, just a slow, almost invisible movement. At first, nobody notices, not even the animals standing on it. The moment everything changes, picture an entire herd grazing peacefully. Some are digging through snow to find moss and lichens. Calves stay close to their mothers. Older males keep watch. Then, the ice quietly pulls away from shore, only a few feet at first, too far to jump. The gap keeps growing. Within minutes, land is out of reach. The herd is now trapped. They aren't standing on land anymore. They're standing on a giant raft of drifting sea ice. Around them, nothing but freezing Arctic water. No way back. Unlike many animals, reindeer are actually strong swimmers. They regularly cross rivers and lakes during migration. But the Arctic Ocean is different. The water is only a few degrees above freezing. Swimming long distances here can quickly drain energy. Hypothermia becomes a serious threat. If the drifting ice moves several hundred meters away, jumping isn't possible. Swimming may not be either. So, the herd does something remarkable. They stay together. Instead of panicking, they wait, drifting into the unknown. Now the journey is no longer under the animals' control. The wind decides where they go. Ocean currents become their path. The floating ice may drift for hours, sometimes days. Some ice floes slowly rotate, others collide with larger sheets of ice. Storms can break them into smaller pieces. Every hour increases the uncertainty. Will the ice drift back toward land or farther into open water? The herd has no way of knowing. Can they survive? Wildlife experts have documented rare cases of reindeer becoming stranded after natural ice breakup. In some situations, changing winds push the ice back toward shore. The animals simply walk off and continue their journey. Other times, the ice eventually reaches another island. Again, the herd survives. But not every story has a happy ending. If the ice drifts too far or begins breaking apart, the chances of survival become much lower. Nature offers no guarantees. Why doesn't this happen more often? Reindeer have lived in northern regions for thousands of years. They know their environment remarkably well. Most of the time, they avoid unstable ice. Their instincts are incredibly accurate, but even perfect instincts cannot predict every change. The Arctic is constantly shifting. Strong winds, changing temperatures, ocean tides, all can transform safe ground into a floating trap within a very short time. Sometimes, even experienced animals are caught by surprise. A changing Arctic. Scientists believe warming temperatures are changing Arctic ice conditions. Sea ice forms later in the season. It often becomes thinner. Breakup can happen earlier. These changes may create more unstable conditions for wildlife. Although drifting ice has always existed naturally, changing climates can make the Arctic increasingly unpredictable. For animals that depend on stable ice, every year becomes a little more uncertain. The strength of the herd. One of the most fascinating parts of these events is the behavior of the herd itself. Instead of scattering, they stay close together. This helps reduce stress. Young calves remain protected. The group moves as one. It's a reminder that survival in the wild often depends not only on strength, but also on cooperation. Nature's most unexpected trap. When most people think of Arctic dangers, they imagine polar bears, blizzards, or freezing temperatures. Few imagine the ground quietly floating away beneath their feet. Yet this silent danger is one of nature's most surprising events. No roar, no earthquake, no explosion, just slow movement until land becomes ocean. For those reindeer, what seemed like another ordinary day became a battle against forces they couldn't control. Some herds eventually returned safely to land. Others were far less fortunate. It's a powerful reminder that in the Arctic, the greatest danger isn't always what you can see. Sometimes the ground itself disappears beneath your feet. If you enjoyed this incredible true story from the natural world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating history, science, and wildlife stories every week. And here's one final question. Could you stay calm if the land beneath your feet suddenly started drifting away?